Because what you're about to hear isn't just the story of a man, it's the story of an era when the world stood on the brink of destruction, and one quiet, unassuming man from Kansas stepped forward to lead. His name, Dwight David Eisenhower, but to those who knew him best, he was simply Ike. He was born on October 14th, 1890, in a small house in Denison, Texas. There was nothing remarkable about that house. Wooden walls, a simple porch, the sound of trains in the distance. His parents, David Jacob Eisenhower and Ida Stover, weren't rich, weren't famous. They were hardworking, God people raising 7 boys in the heartland of America. When Dwight was still a child, the family moved to Abilene, Kansas, a town of dusty roads, wheat fields, and the kind of community where everyone knew each other's name. This was where Ike's character was forged. He wasn't the smartest kid in class, not the most talented athlete at first, but he had something else: determination. His mother once said, "Dwight doesn't quit. When he sets his mind to something, you can't stop him." As a teenager, he loved football. Hard, gritty, bruising football. He played with everything he had. But there was another side to Ike, one you might not expect. Late at night, after the chores were done, you'd find him under the dim light of a kerosene lamp, reading history books, fascinated by stories of great generals, Caesar, Napoleon, Washington. Maybe, just maybe, he dreamed of a bigger life beyond Abilene. In 1909, he graduated high school. Money was tight, so he worked in a creamery, lifting heavy barrels, sweating through long days to help pay for his brother's college tuition. That act of sacrifice says everything about who Ike was. He put others before himself. But fate had bigger plans. In 1911, he earned an appointment to the United States Military Academy at West Point. West Point wasn't easy. The discipline was strict, the academics tough, but Ike thrived. He became a star on the football field until a devastating knee injury ended his athletic career. For a while, he thought his future was over, but instead of giving up, he adapted. He turned his focus to leadership, to strategy, and in 1915, he graduated, part of a class that would one day shape the outcome of World War II. When the First World War erupted, young Lieutenant Eisenhower was eager to fight. He trained tank crews, prepared men for battle, but never got sent overseas. That haunted him. He felt he hadn't done enough. The interwar years tested his patience. For decades, he served in quiet, often overlooked roles, planning, organizing, learning under great leaders like Fox Connor, Douglas MacArthur, and George Patton. MacArthur once said of him, "This young man has the brains, the drive, and the character to go far." By 1941, as the storm clouds of World War II gathered, Eisenhower was still relatively unknown. But then came Pearl Harbor. America was at war, and everything changed. General George C. Marshall, the Army Chief of Staff, recognized something rare in Eisenhower. Not just tactical skill, but the ability to lead men, to unite allies, to shoulder immense responsibility without ego. In 1942, Eisenhower was given command of Operation Torch, the Allied invasion of North Africa. It was his first real test. The operation wasn't perfect. Mistakes were made, lives were lost, but Eisenhower proved himself calm under pressure, able to manage not just armies, but the clashing personalities of leaders like Churchill, Roosevelt, and Montgomery. And then came the biggest gamble of them all, D-Day. Picture this, the night of June 5th, 1944. Rain lashes against the windows of Eisenhower's command post in southern England. Maps cover the tables, pins marking beaches with code names like Omaha, Utah, Juneau, Sword, and Gold. Outside, thousands of ships and planes stand ready. If the invasion fails, the war could be lost. Eisenhower walks alone for a moment, hands clasped behind his back. He carries in his pocket a note he's written, just a few lines, taking full responsibility if the invasion fails. It ends with the words, "The troops, the air, and the Navy did all that bravery and devotion to duty could do. If any blame or fault attaches to the attempt, it is mine alone." That's leadership. At dawn, June 6, 1944, The largest amphibious invasion in history begins. Under Eisenhower's command, the Allies storm Normandy's beaches. The cost is horrific, but the foothold is won. From there, the Allies drive across France, liberate Paris, and push into Germany. By May 1945, Nazi Germany surrenders. Eisenhower returns home a hero, but he doesn't boast. He simply says, "I was lucky to serve with such brave men." After the war, he becomes Army Chief of Staff, then the first Supreme Commander of NATO. He's now not just a soldier, but a statesman. In 1952, both Democrats and Republicans court him to run for president. He chooses the Republican ticket and wins by a landslide. As president, he presides over an era of prosperity. He builds the interstate highway system, strengthens Social Security, enforces desegregation in schools, and keeps the Cold War from turning hot. He isn't flashy, he isn't loud, but he gets things done. In his farewell address, January 17, 1961, he issues a warning that still echoes today. In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. On March 28, 1969, Dwight D. Eisenhower passes away at the age of 78. The boy from Abilene, who became a general, a president, and a symbol of steady, principled leadership, is laid to rest. And maybe that's the lesson of his life. True strength doesn't always shout. Sometimes it speaks quietly, but with unshakable resolve.